Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. It is Binky here today with a new palette review. Yes, this is for Physicians Formula, the Gold Vault. It was released, I'd say at the end of last year, maybe the beginning of this year. At least that's when I was able to get it on Ulta. I'd been waiting for it for quite a long time and I was happy to finally get it. So yes, here it is. I do want to apologize. I have been sick, as you can tell. It's always an adventure, especially here in New York City, when you got to travel on the subway and you keep coughing and you can't stop coughing, and with the whole Wuhan coronavirus going on, let me tell you, the trains are always packed. Not when you're coughing like I was. I don't know what this thing is. I've had this for 10 days and I still sound like this, and the doctor said it lasts 3 weeks easily. Yes, feeling a lot better, sound like hell. So we'll see how this goes because I haven't been talking much. But so this is what the palette looks like, and I did use this several times. Now I didn't take a lot of pictures like I usually do because I did find that the looks looked quite a bit the same. And here's the reason why. It is called the Gold Vault. So if you are not big into gold, then you're not going to be big into this because it's the Gold Vault. So this is what it looks like. Now I'm going to put swatches throughout the video and you'll see that a lot of the colors are very similar. So because of that, you're going to get a lot of the same looks. And you'll see that in the swatches. Also, what I'll point out is there's absolutely no mattes in this. So if you like to use a matte in your crease like I do, you're going to have to bring in another palette. That's okay by me because I look at it as a special palette rather than a fully functional palette, if that makes sense. There's just some like palettes where it's just all special shades, no mattes because they don't want to waste your time, and I'm okay with that. And that's basically what this is, so know that when you're buying it, that's what you're getting into. So the closest thing you could use is this color here, which is a satin. You could use that if you don't mind using satins in your crease. I don't like doing it, especially this time of year, because everybody's dry. My skin is dry. Normally I have really oily skin. I'm still as oily, but on the lids and stuff it can get a little parched because of the cold weather here in New York City, especially the wind. So another thing is that these two shades here tend to be topper shades. So you're going to need a glitter. Actually, you're going to need a glitter glue with a lot of these to really get the full punch that you're looking for. But these two specifically, you're really going to need a glue. Otherwise, it's going to be all over your face and it's not going to hold where it needs to be because it's a very dry formula. So, with that being said, I obviously don't have anything really on my face. Whew. Hoping this doesn't look too scary for the children. I'm sorry, it's been a rough 10 days. A rough 10 days. But, so let's see. Let's just do a really easy look. So this doesn't come with a mirror, so you're going to have to come up with one of your own, which I'm sure we all have 5 billion. I don't use brushes to put shades like this on my eyes. I use my fingers. I've always been like that. It's just how I live my life. But I never did it, so I'm going to take this big gold bar right here. Ooh. And it does flake up, because I don't normally do that, but it flakes up. I hope it's picking up on camera. I'm kind of scared to put that in my eye now. I'm going to pat that down. I always have a piece of paper to the side. And I'm just going to put it here. And as you can see, it doesn't really show up. And this is something that I ran into a few times. Yeah, this is brand new to me as well. And there's like something on the mirror. Voila. Voila, you can see. Oof. So it does indeed pick up on the brush, but it just doesn't really read on the eye that well. I mean, it definitely shows up, but it's very light compared to the way I tend to do it, which is pick up on the finger and rub on the eye. which honestly, it's not that. Here's how I look at it. If you want a very light look, then do it without glitter glue and just go across the eye like that. But again, with the brush, it does pick up, but it's extremely light. It's going to take 2 or 3 coats to fill in the patches, which, you know, I mean, I'm not really upset about it at all. I mean, it's fine, but it's a very light look, and that's okay. Now, here's the one thing that I found with the palette while I was using it, was that I really loved the topper shades here. But my issue with these guys was that, again, you have to use a glitter glue. So when you lay down your base, like I did here, you have to put a glitter glue on top of it to make it work. Otherwise, it's going to go all over your face. I tried it both ways. In my initial video, when I tried it for the first time, whew, it was, you could see it happening there. It was, I'll link it above, but I was doing first impression of, full face of first impressions, trying to get through my collection, and whoo doggies, it went absolutely everywhere. So have some glitter glue. And so what I want to do is go in with this shade. I really love this shade. It's just this beautiful shifting green, gold green, but again, it's not going to pick up unless you really put that glitter glue on. But once you do, it's very pretty, but just know that it's more of a topper shade. So both of those that I was pointing towards, and I'll go ahead and mark them above, are definitely, you know, they're topper shades. I'm not a big fan of topper shades. I find that topper shades are kind of a cop-out, but Physicians Formula is not the only place doing it. So, you know, a lot of companies are doing it, I think, because you don't have to put as much pigmentation in it, so you can get away with cost and go, but it's a topper shade. Yeah, okay. So, the next one is this one. I want to put it in the corner a little bit. I love this one. I love the shift of it. Now, the glitter glue is covered, so it's probably not going to stick as well. I know it's not going to stick as well, but it goes on enough, but it will shift during the day, but I just don't want to do glitter glue over glitter glue over glitter glue. And there is some fallout, which you can see around the eyes. There's definitely some fallout. So that's a little bit frustrating, and that's what happens too if you don't use the glitter glue, is it just falls around the face. And even when you do use the glitter glue, it can be a little bit flaky, is what I found while I was using it. So now, just because I like to add a little bit of dimension to the outer V, I will take this brown. This too is more of a satin, so you could use this in the crease if you are someone who likes using satins for your crease. You can go ahead and do it. Do what you need to do. It's just not the look that I go for. It just doesn't look right on me. But I've seen some people do it, even with shimmers, and they look freaking fantastic. So, you know, do what you need to do, because I'm sure you look beautiful. But for me, here we go. And actually, as you can see, it goes in quite well. It goes in really well. And that's without the glitter glue. So, yeah. You know, I really can't complain. That one, this one, oops, wrong palette. This one just works really well. I really feel like these are the more superior of the palette, though these work well too. They really do. And this, actually, yeah, because this one does too. But here's the thing, is that these two are so darn similar. Nah, they are a little bit different. I was going to say these two browns, but they are different. They are indeed different. This is more of like a copper, and that's more like a brown. They're close. Now I'm going to try these two, because I think these are pretty close. Hope it's showing up on screen. Why not? We're here. Let's do it. There's subtle differences between them. Very subtle differences. And then, which ones were I? Okay, then these two. These two I didn't do. I mean, these all look different, but let's see. Because these two really look similar. Let's see. There is a slight difference, but with these two, but there is a slight difference. But honestly, what I found using this for several days was, even though there is a slight difference with these guys, it wasn't enough to really make dramatically different looks, because they are so similar that it wasn't mind-blowing. We'll put it that way. But yep, so but you can definitely see some fallout. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish off the eye, use some matte shades just to finish out the outer V and then go underneath the eye. But I hope it's showing, but you can definitely see where there was fallout. It happens quite a bit. The other thing I want to show, because it is fun, is you get a gold mascara. Now, because I'm going out, I'm not going to use this on my eyes. I'm going to cover it with black. Maybe it'll add an interesting dimension. But this is what the brush looks like. And it is indeed gold. Hopefully it picks up. The lighting's being a little touchy today. I do prefer to use natural lighting, for good or for bad. So I put this on, and it's hard to see, but it is indeed on. It actually does work. It does work. It's hard to see right now. I feel like it does better when you lay down black on your eyelashes and then you put these on the tip. I think it picks up better on mascara, but it does work. I don't know if I'd wear it alone. It's hard to see on my eyes because my lashes tend to go straight. They're really long and thick, and so they just lay flat, which, there you go. But yeah, you can't really see it, but it is indeed on there. I do think this works better because I've never used it straight on my full eye. Using it on the tip of your eyelashes after you've used like a dark mascara. They say it adds lengthening. For me, I don't think so. It's just kind of odd because you have these weird tips on. But I'm sure somebody can make it work and be very playful with it. Especially if you go underneath with like a smoky eye and then you do it in your lower lashes. I'm sure it would work well. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and finish up this eye look, and then we will get on with the review. Okay, so this is the final look with it. I like it. I think it's beautiful. I actually really like this look. I've worn this a few times, and I just think it's a really happy, easy way to wear a gold. Even for those who are afraid of golds or like really dark colors on their eyes. I'm not afraid of dark colors, I just don't prefer them. This is an easy way to add a little bit of gold and pizzazz to your look without going full on like C3PO. Okay, I mean, because there's some really bold ones here. And I will say that they do work really well. So here's my thoughts on it. The main thing that I want to say is that, well, okay, let's start with this thing. Now, I'm not happy with my eyelashes right now because they did indeed go on. It's hard to see in this lighting, but the gold does work actually really well, and it completely covered the eyes. The thing with the gold is, for it to really work, I think you'd have to do a really smoky eye and then put this on. And then it would show up. But for me, it doesn't really make sense why you would want to have gold eyelashes unless you were doing like cosplay or a very specific artsy look. I put it on the tips once because it says in here if you use it on the tips, it makes your eyelashes look really long. It just looked like I had gold tips on, so I didn't really get that from it. It's fun. It is fun. So what I would suggest is don't do what I did. Put a black mascara on first as a base and then this, because I'd never used it fully on its own, just on the tips. What ended up happening is it made my lashes stick together. And so you can still see they're stuck together like glue, and I tried to get them apart and I can't. So I put black over it and it still makes them very crispy, and nobody wants crispy eyelashes. They feel really crispy. So this is good for tips, or put black on first and then put this on top of it, because it's just very drying and it makes things clump together, even when I tried to separate them later. So it does work and it's really nice. Just that's my advice on how to use it. As far as the colors go, so as I said earlier, you're going to have a lot of very similar looks with this. It's not going to be mind-blowingly different. So you're probably going to get you're gonna get good 4 looks out. Well, actually, probably more. If you went like all smoky, you have to. Okay, you have to bring in another palette. Let's just start with that. If you're into mattes like I am, there are no mattes in this, so it's really gonna help to have another palette where you can play with these and use these mostly on the lid or underneath. But the thing is, they do tend to flake. They do tend to cause some mischief around the eyes, so using it underneath, because I did use it underneath the waterline a few times, and it just migrated down my face. So I really do feel like these work better with the glitter glue or fix-it spray on the lid, period. And that's it, because you're gonna have some flaking issues otherwise. So you're gonna need a glitter glue. I'm not gonna rip on that too much because frankly, I have to use glitter glues with Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath a lot of the time. Those are the top end brands, and honestly, I have to use glitter glue. So I'm not going to down these for when brands that cost 10 times as much as this does have issues. So no big deal, just get a glitter glue. The glitter glue will last you forever, trust me. So invest in a good one and you're good to go. So yes, so you're going to get, like, I'd say a good, like, if you go for smoky, you could go for this. This is good for the outer corner. These are kind of similar, so you'd get 1 look, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can actually get about 5, 6 different looks with this. Even though it doesn't look like it, the more you play with it, the more you can. I think that this is actually a very good palette. I do. When I did my first impressions, I was kind of like, but the more I worked with it and learned how to work with it, I really liked it. Again, glitter glue, I'm going to say it over and over. It is the word of the day, glitter glue. That's the way to make these work. Once you have them on, they don't, these two, because their topper shades do move a little bit, even with the glitter glue, they do migrate up above your eyes. So if you have hooded eyes, you might, curses to this, you might. If you have wider eye space, you may not have an issue, but it does move up. I do have hooded, semi-hooded. It does move up on my eye even with the glitter glue. So, and it's not that horrible. It's not noticeable. Nobody's going to, it's fine. But it's just best to get that glitter glue out and pray for the best. But I actually feel like it's a really good collection. I wasn't sure at first, but the more I used it, the more I liked it. I really do. I think it's really great. It's just, again, you're not going to get a huge difference in looks. You can get 5 or 6 different looks with this. It's just they're not going to be hugely different where everybody's going to go, wow. It's just not that different. It'll be minor differences. My favorite are these 2 shades, even though they are the topper shades. I love to use them on top of other shades, that's topper, or I will put them over and over on the lid, but you're going to have to really build them up, and they do create a very beautiful ethereal type look that's very wearable, but yet if you want to wear gold and do it in a way that's corporate friendly or everyday friendly, then you could do it that way and stick it to the man and still wear the gold that you so crave. So yeah, I do think this is a good palette. I ended up getting it, I think, for $15.99. I put it on the side because I had a 20% off discount. I think it's $19.99. I will say I think that's a bit expensive for this, especially because there's not much variance. You do get a lot of product. I do think for drugstore brand, $20 is a bit much. I would have priced this more at $16. $15.99 I think would have been fine. Part of the reason for it is because how many golds are you going to reach for in a lifetime like this? How often are you going to wear this? I mean, unless you wear gold every day and that's your signature look, then this is going to last you a couple years. But if you don't, I don't feel like it's, a full palette. In that if I were the creator of this, and I understand it's the gold vault, so it's like gold, but if I were working on this, what I would have done is remove some of the similar shades, like one of the, like maybe these two, and put mattes in. Mattes are cheaper to make anyway, so then you could make these mattes, a lighter one and a darker one, and I think you would have had a really great cohesive palette. Here they're saying you can use these on the face. Where are you going to use these on the face? I don't think so. So you have these big bars for no reason. Maybe I would have made a highlighter with like a gold beautiful highlighter with this. and made this a bronzer, but I don't really understand what these are. So highlighter, bronzer, mattes, here you go. Even though because this is similar to this one, so I would get this one out, put this one here, and then, yeah, that's difficult. You know, I would make a bronzer. Screw the bronzer. This is what I would do. I would have made this a highlighter, kept this as is because this one's actually one of the better ones. Made these mattes. There you go. Cohesion. That's how I would have fixed this. And I think maybe then it would have been worth $20, but even then $16.99. $20 for Physicians Formula. I just $16.99 or $15.99. That's what I would have put it at. I feel okay paying $15.99 on the sale price for me because I think it's worth that. But I think it's overpriced. The other thing that I would say is that the packaging is really bulky. There is no reason for this bulky packaging. It's just, there's no reason for it, except for the mascara, which I get, but it's a bit much. It's just really bulky, and I'm finding a hard time putting it anywhere. I don't care that there's no mirror. I don't care that it's not beautiful. Like, you don't go, wow. I don't care. It's a drugstore brand. I'm about the product. It's about what's inside, as in most things in life. But I think it's a bit bulky. There's just no reason for it. They also give you some eye looks. I did not do it because they want you to take this up to the lid. Not happening because they're not matte shades, and I'm not putting a bunch of metallic foils. They're not really foils, but you know, shimmers up to my lid. Some people do, and it looks gorgeous. For me, I look like a damn fool, so not doing that. So this eye look is not happening. But it sounds like I'm being harsh on it. I'm just being real with it. But in the end, I actually really like this. Would I reach for it every day? No. So I don't know how much use I'm going to get out of it. I'll get a hell of a lot of use out of these. But it's not something I'd gravitate to all the time, but I would pull this out of my collection every couple weeks and just, you know, use it. But I don't think it's going to be for everyone. I really don't. But do I think it's good? I do. I like it. I really wanted this when I saw it. I'm glad I have it. I actually do like this, even with its problems. It's a fun palette. So it just depends what you're looking for. So weigh things out, how often you're going to use it, especially because I myself am on a low buy. I felt the price justified what I wanted from it, but realize you may have some of these colors, not in a full collection like this. If you really love golds, this is going to be great for you. But if you like golds every once in a while, find something in your collection maybe, because this is a lot of golds if you don't wear them a lot. So you can save yourself some money that way. But if you love golds, you love this idea, go support it. Absolutely. So they wear well. Once you have them on, they wear well. A little bit of migration with some of them, but for the most part, they're good once they're on there. And you could go for a very bold look, or you can go for a very easy look like this. So it just depends what you're looking for. So is it the most versatile? Perhaps not. Do you have to build the shades up? Yes. They're not that pigmented, so you're going to have to put 2 or 3 layers on for them to really show up. But again, drugstore brand, I'm not going to hate on it. I think it's a good palette. I do like this palette. If you're looking for a palette like this, I would say go for it. So yeah, that is my review on this. Let me know what you think. Are you interested in it? Now that you've seen how it kind of works and you've heard about it, let me know what you think. Do you normally like Physicians Formula? I don't have too many items of theirs, so I'm curious to know if it's worth buying more. I'm always interested. So let me know. And until next time, have a fabulous day, my friends. Stay away from the colds. Wash your hands. Stay healthy. Have a good week. Bye.